The compressor screams behind a stucco wall in Mesa, Arizona. Heat radiates off the concrete pad like an open oven door. 3 brass nozzles on the grill spray mist. The air drops 30 degrees within 18 inches. This family paid $340 last July. This July, $212. The device cost $25. By the end of this video, you will discover the number proving this rivals a $15,000 system, why the industry buried it, and how to build it. Last fall, I headed west out of Phoenix, past the last subdivision and the last strip mall, all the way out to Buckeye, Arizona. West of Phoenix, past the last subdivision and the last strip mall, I was visiting a retired HVAC technician who had been running a homemade condenser misting system on his unit for 11 years. Not a commercial product, not a prototype, a working system built from parts you find at any hardware store. I stood beside his condenser on a 109-degree afternoon and watched the mist engage when the compressor kicked on. A fine fog wrapped the coils. I held a digital thermometer at the intake grill and watched the reading settle. 78 degrees, 31 degrees cooler than the ambient air just 2 feet away. I moved the probe back and forth. The number held. He brought me inside and opened a kitchen drawer stuffed with utility bills. 11 years of summer data, organized by month. His average July electric bill before the mister was $290. After, $185. Consistent every single year, a 36% drop during peak cooling months. He had not replaced the air conditioner, had not upgraded insulation, had not changed a single thing about the house except 3 brass nozzles and a length of tubing connected to a garden hose. I asked him the question that brought me across the desert. If this works so well, why does no HVAC company sell it for homes? He laughed and shook his head. In 32 years of professional HVAC work, he installed misting pre-coolers on commercial rooftop units routinely, shopping centers, office towers, hospital wings, standard practice for large commercial systems. But in all those years, not once did a manufacturer recommend it for residential use. Not in a single installation manual, not in a single training course. Across retirement communities in the Phoenix metro area, the trick had spread on its own. Retirees teaching neighbors over back fences, buying brass nozzles in bulk from irrigation supply stores. Nobody filed for a permit, nobody hired a contractor. They walked into an irrigation aisle, spent less than the price of lunch, and cut their cooling bills by a third. The systems had been running for years without a single failure. What I saw on that concrete pad is not a hack, it is not a workaround. The engineering behind it has been proved in laboratories and practiced across thousands of years of human civilization. The retired technician told me the physics were settled before he was born. He was right. The principle is older than written language. In ancient Egypt, around 2500 BCE, servants fanned porous clay jars of water to cool rooms for the wealthy. Water seeped through earthenware walls and evaporated on contact with dry air. That evaporation pulled heat from the surrounding space. Frescoes from that era depict the practice in detail. 4,500 years ago, Egyptians understood that when water changes from liquid to vapor, it absorbs energy from everything near it. Persian engineers in the city of Yazd refined this over centuries. Wind towers called badgers caught desert breezes and pushed them over channels of water flowing from underground aqueducts known as qanats. Air entered buildings 10 to 15 degrees cooler than the air outside. No moving parts, no fuel, just wind and water and the physics of evaporative cooling. These systems ran without interruption across generations. In ancient Rome during the 1st century, wealthy aristocrats diverted aqueduct water through their villa walls. Stone thermal mass and evaporative contact cooled interior rooms through the worst Mediterranean heat. Every civilization facing extreme temperatures arrived at the same answer. Water absorbs energy when it evaporates. Move air across water and temperature falls. The principle never changed. The man who reshaped how America cools itself was Willis Haviland Carrier. In 1902, at a printing plant in Brooklyn, New York, Carrier built the first modern air conditioning system. By 1915, he founded the Carrier Corporation. Within 20 years, his vapor compression cycle dominated the country. The system depends on a compressor, a condenser coil, and a fan blowing outdoor air across the coil to reject heat. Hotter outdoor air means a harder working compressor. A harder working compressor means a bigger bill. Engineers spotted that bottleneck from day one. Solving it cheaply would undermine the entire model of selling larger equipment. The modern proof arrived in 2005. At Tulane University in New Orleans, two researchers in the Department of Mechanical Engineering ran a critical test. Jillian Chodak and Suzanne Murphy measured what happens when water mist is sprayed into the air flowing over a home condenser coil. They found that pre-cooling reduced the incoming air temperature and simultaneously cooled the aluminum fins through direct evaporation. Both effects cut compressor workload. Bigger numbers followed. A 2024 study in an international refrigeration journal pushed the data further. Running a mist device for just 2 minutes improved the coefficient of performance by 54.9%. Energy consumption dropped 17.2%. In a separate 2020 study, researcher Yang found that energy use fell 25% when a spray cooling system was added to an air-cooled condenser. Oak Ridge National Laboratory mapped pre-cooling savings across 16 American climate zones. The research was funded by the United States Department of Energy. Every zone showed meaningful reductions. The science is not emerging. It is settled. Tulane proved it. Oak Ridge confirmed it. Researchers across Europe, Asia, and the Middle East replicated it. The question is not whether condenser misting works. That was answered decades ago. The question is why you are hearing about it from me instead of from the company that sold you your air conditioner. Follow the money. The answer sits on every balance sheet in the industry. The United States HVAC market generates over $132 billion in annual revenue. The contractor sector alone pulls in $156 billion. More than 117,000 businesses compete for that money. The average lifetime value of one residential HVAC customer is $15,340. That covers everything. The initial installation, the annual service calls, the refrigerant recharges, and capacitor swaps. The full system replacement that drops every 10 to 15 years. Picture that figure written on a whiteboard in a Carrier or Trane conference room. $15,340 per household, recurring across decades. Now picture a $25 brass misting kit that extends compressor life and cuts the customer's bill by a third. That kit is not competition. It is a threat to the entire revenue structure. A new central air conditioner averages $5,750 for a standard 3-ton unit. Some jobs push close to $8,000. Every unit sold is revenue for the manufacturer, the distributor, and the installer. Every existing unit that runs cooler and lasts longer because of a mister is a replacement sale delayed by years. The industry profits when your system dies. It does not profit from helping it survive. The training pipeline seals the gap. ASHRAE standards, a CC, a certification manuals, and manufacturer training programs focus on sealed system components, compressors, coils, refrigerant charges, blower assemblies. Water mist pre-cooling does not appear in any residential HVAC training curriculum in the United States. Not because it failed in testing, because it succeeded too cheaply. The codes tell the same story. The International Mechanical Code, published by the International Code Council, governs HVAC installations nationwide. The Uniform Mechanical Code, published by the International Association of Plumbing and Mechanical Officials, sets standards in dozens of states. Neither code bans condenser misting. Neither code mentions it. The technology sits in a regulatory void. Not illegal, not endorsed, invisible. No checkbox exists to approve it because no lobby spent the money to create one. Walk the floor of the AHR Expo, the largest HVAC trade show in North America. Hundreds of thousands of square feet of booth space. Carrier, Trane, Lennox, Daikin, every major manufacturer filling their displays with next-generation compressors and smart thermostats and variable speed blowers. Rows of equipment priced in the thousands, not a single booth selling a misting nozzle kit for a home condenser, not because the technology failed, because it works too well for too little money. The commercial side of this same industry has relied on condenser pre-cooling for decades. Data centers, hospitals, big box retail, these facilities install evaporative pre-coolers on rooftop units as standard practice. Same physics, same brass nozzles. The only difference is that a data center manager knows about it and you do not. And the squeeze keeps tightening. New EPA compliant HVAC equipment carries at least a 20% increase in materials cost over current models. Each regulatory cycle pushes families toward more expensive hardware, not toward a $25 fix that makes existing hardware perform 2 efficiency tiers higher. Now, if you do not own land, if you are not off-grid, if you are sitting in a suburban house or an apartment right now, stay with me, because what comes next works in any home, costs under $300, and requires 0 permits in most jurisdictions. This part was built specifically for you. Here's the number I promised at the start of this video. The ratio the compressor replacement industry does not want next to a price tag. A condenser misting system delivers up to a 30% increase in coefficient of performance. Research confirms that a drop of 6 degrees Celsius in condenser intake air produces a 14% efficiency gain. Double that temperature drop, and the gain climbs to 25 to 30%. Here is what that means for your wallet. A standard residential air conditioner rated at SEER 14 is the minimum efficiency sold in the United States right now. With a properly configured mister running, that same unit performs like a SEER 18 or higher. A SEER 18 system costs $3,000 to $4,000 more than a SEER 14. The mister costs $25. That is the number. That is the gap they do not want you to see. Now let me show you how to build this yourself. Start with the nozzles. Buy 3 to 5 brass misting nozzles with an orifice around 0.4 millimeters. A 5-pack costs $6 to $10 at any hardware store or irrigation supply. Pick up 10 to 15 feet of 1/4 inch outer diameter polyethylene misting tubing for $4 to $6. 1/4 inch to garden hose adapter fitting costs about $3. An inline sediment filter rated for misting systems runs $5 to $8. Grab zip ties or small stainless steel hose clamps for $2 to $3. Total cost for everything lands under $25. Shut off the air conditioning at the thermostat and at the breaker. This is not electrical work, but you will be working near the condenser fan. You do not want it cycling on while your hands are close to the blades. Run the polyethylene tubing around the top edge of the condenser housing, following the outer perimeter of the top grill. Zip tie it in place every 6 to 8 inches. Keep the tubing above the fan discharge, not below it. Punch the brass nozzles into the pre-drilled holes in the tubing, spacing them 12 to 18 inches apart. 3 to 5 nozzles cover any standard residential condenser. Angle them inward and slightly upward so the mist drifts into the intake airstream, not directly onto the coil fins, but into the air flowing toward them. Connect the tubing to the garden hose adapter. Install the inline sediment filter between the hose bib and the adapter. Hard water mineral buildup is the #1 reason misting nozzles clog. That $5 filter keeps them running for years instead of weeks. Turn on the water and adjust the hose bib until you see a fine mist, not a stream, not dripping water. The mist must evaporate before it touches the coil fins. Flash evaporation in the airstream is the cooling mechanism. Liquid water pooling on the fins is not acceptable. Crucially, you cannot just leave the hose running manually. If the water stays on when your home's thermostat shuts the AC down, you will flood the unit, drown the electronics, and potentially short out the compressor. You must wire a 24-volt irrigation solenoid valve in parallel with your AC unit's low-voltage contactor terminals, specifically the Y and C wires inside the unit's control panel. This ensures the water turns on and off automatically with the compressor. Maintenance takes minutes. Once a month during cooling season, spray the outside of your condenser coils with equal parts white vinegar and water. Rinse with the hose. This prevents mineral scale whether or not you run a mister. With the filter installed, your nozzles should stay clear all season. Replace the filter cartridge once a year. Annual upkeep cost is close to zero. Now the honest part, this system delivers its biggest savings in hot, dry climates. Phoenix, Las Vegas, Tucson, El Paso. In those places, the mist evaporates instantly and the temperature drop across the condenser is dramatic. In humid climates like Houston, Miami, or New Orleans, the savings are real but smaller. Saturated air cannot absorb as much extra moisture. If you are in South Florida and the humidity sits at 90%, this will lower your bill, but it will not cut it in half. That is the truth, and you deserve to hear it up front. If you live in a moderate zone like the Mid-Atlantic or Upper Midwest, you sit in the sweet spot, hot enough for real savings, dry enough for the mist to work efficiently. For the average American home, central air conditioning uses 2,000 to 4,000 kilowatt hours per year. That costs between $340 and $680 annually, depending on your rate and climate. A 15% reduction, the conservative number from the Tulane study, saves $50 to $100 every year over the 15-year life of a typical condenser that totals $750 to $1,500 from a $25 investment. And the math keeps going. Less compressor strain means fewer breakdowns. Fewer breakdowns means a unit that outlasts its expected replacement date by years. Think about what that means across a 30-year mortgage. Most homeowners replace their air conditioning at least once in that span. At $5,000 to $8,000 per replacement, delaying that event by even 3 to 5 years saves thousands beyond the monthly bill reduction. A $25 mister does not just lower your bill, it pushes back the day you write the biggest check the HVAC industry is counting on. Don't forget, if you want to take your off-grid electrical game to the next level, my buddy Oliver over at Off Grid Ohms with Oliver has got you covered. Go show him some love.